We are live. Called Football
Live,
Chronicles is back.
back again, back again.
Lots happening in the world of Italian football right now. It's difficult to even know where to start.
Bro, should we start with the obvious, I guess? Italy miss out on yet another World Cup. How do you feel? What do you think? Thoughts.
So the World Cup happens every 4 years,
Yeah,
and for three in a row, Italy's missed out on, which is incredible. So 12 years. So you're going to get some incredibly talented Italian players like Donnarumma, right? Who
yeah.
are not going to go to the World Cup, maybe ever in their career. He's going to be 30 plus, I think 31 by the next World Cup.
So, like, really, as a keeper, you might make one.
Might make one. It's crazy to think. He started when he was 16, right?
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
so yeah, I just think it's an indictment on just Italian football in general. Because even the game against Bosnia dominated Italy. Unfortunately, they deserve to go through.
I don't know, man.
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. I mean, I think I agree with you. I think Italian football right now is not in a great state. You look at the top Italian teams, apart from like Inter Milan and Juventus.
Mm.
Inter Milan having Barella and Bastoni. There's not a lot of Italian talent in these teams. AC Milan got a few potential, and again, they're all potentials, bro. But we like to send out our young players on loan to lesser teams. And I get it. Obviously, you want to compete in a big competition and you need talent from around the world. But you have to invest in your youth system. You look at the likes of Chelsea and stuff. A lot of the money that they make is from sales through the youth team. You look at the Premier League and the English talent. Fair enough, they haven't won a World Cup since. But there's a lot of English talent out there. There's so much. And that's because the youth team and the youth development is really important. Going back to the game, it's a shame, we went 1-0 up. Moise Keane scored a nice goal. We had chances. And then you go 10 against 11 for about 60 minutes of the game. And you're right, since we went down to 10 man, Bosnia dominated. But Italy still I think we still had the better chances.
I agree
But
with
as
that.
we know, in football, if you don't take your chances, you don't win games.
And I saw a video and there's a gentleman saying that he was Italian and he was hurt. But he was
Yeah.
like, in a weird way, I'm happy Moise Keane didn't score that counter attack, because if he did, in Italy, what they would have said is it's okay to just defend,
And then
and then
score.
just score in the counter attack. Bosnia, I think, had 50 plus crosses in that
Yeah.
one match. Right, they had more possession of the ball. Yes, Italy had 10 men, but though we can talk about the youth system, the quality of players on the pitch were good enough
To be, yeah,
to
I
get over
agree.
the line.
I agree. They should have won. They should have won. There's no excuse about it. I think, and they were laughing, not laughing, but I don't know if you saw the video of
They
the
were
Marcos
celebrating.
and Pio Esposito celebrating when Bosnia beat Wales. And it's karma, bro. I just I agree with you. I think the first 11 should win that game regardless. But
Totally.
I still think that first 11 is not good enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. And
Even if you do go to the World Cup, I don't expect Italy to go far. And obviously, I'd rather them be in it than not be in it. Um, but it's a reflection of where Italian football is at the moment, unfortunately.
you have a coach like Carlo Ancelotti, probably one of the best ever in the history of the game, and he's currently managing Brazil. Whereas you have Gennaro Gattuso, who's a great motivator, AC Milan legend. But what has he done in his coaching career to deserve coaching Italy, right?
I just don't think anyone wants to do it. So they're going to get anyone that they can, really. As sad as it sounds, that's the reality of it. I don't think many people want to do that job right now. And maybe for good reasons, bro. I don't think the Fiji cheese ran properly. Gabriele Gravina resigned. Buffon resigned after we went out. Gattuso himself resigned, saying that he couldn't achieve what they planned. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in a few years, right? There's some Italian 16 years old that I've never seen Italy playing in the World Cup, and
That's
that's
crazy.
crazy. That's crazy.
That's
Um,
crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, as a footballing nation, 4 World Cups won. right? To not be in the World Cup 3 years in a row is absolutely disgraceful. And yeah,
Is
I'm hearing there's going to be a lot of change already. There are people resigning, and there is a lot of talent there that needs to be nurtured. So hopefully there will be a change. Who do you think is the appropriate next appointment as a coach? Because we know a coach is important. When Mancini was there, Italy was building something. They ended up winning the Euros, and before that they went on a run, 30 plus games undefeated. Who do you think, if you were in charge, who would you put in the bench right now?
who is there? I think it's hard. Obviously, Italy is known. We have good Italian coaches. Um, Ancelotti would have been a great signing. Obviously, we went to Brazil. Mancini's, I think, he's in Saudi at the moment. Inzaghi's in Saudi. All of these coaches are now also chasing the money, which makes sense. But I don't know who the right person will be to take that job, and it's quite tough actually because I don't know if he's the coach that we need or it's just I don't know, new rules in Italian football where every team has to start six Italian players. I don't know, something like that. But the youth team in Italy back in the days used to be so, so good. Even when I used to play in Italy, like, your Atalanta's had one of the best youth teams in Italy, AC Milan as well, Inter Milan. And now we just don't see that. And it's disappointing, to be honest. In terms of coach, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
It's true. It's true. I don't know. I think they need to try one of these young coaches. And like you're right, Inzaghi at the moment is Al Hilal making loads of money. However, if this federation was serious and gave him the opportunity, I'd like to think he'd take the opportunity. And I think, I don't know, look at coaches that are tactically adept with modern day football. End of the day, you got teams like Bosnia. Before that, it was Montenegro. Before it was at Northern Ireland. These are games where, in one match, the whole destiny of the team
Yeah, you're
for a
right.
few years can make a difference. And
You're right.
yeah, and when I think about the young players, with Milan in particular, a team that we follow, Bartezaghi's had a breakout year. And the truth is, they're only playing him because Estupinian has been bad. Right, but
Yeah.
it's one of them ones that how many more players like Bartezaghi are there that are good? And if you give Bartezaghi time, he can be maybe not world class or maybe world class. You never know. Like if you
Yeah.
give him the opportunity, players like Calafiori, he had to go to Switzerland to go to Basel to then come back to Bologna to then get the opportunity.
Was at Roma, didn't really play. Now he's at Arsenal and he's doing well.
Imagine if he stayed at Roma. So
Yeah,
that's the challenge. So you talk about the youth teams. Maybe the players are there. They're just not getting the opportunity.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. One of the funny things that I've heard though is that people are saying Allegri
Oh, really?
should go to Italy. Yeah, and some Milan fans are saying, "Come on, he's just got to Milan. He's preparing for next season. Let's not be silly." And
To let go.
yeah, to go
I
to
don't know. Allegri, great manager. I don't really want to lose him, to be honest. Obviously, we've seen Tottenham appointing
De Zerbi.
De Zerbi. If we were to lose Allegri, I would have liked to know that De Zerbi was free and
Same,
we could get him.
same.
So no, I'd like to keep Allegri. He's building something good at AC Milan. We're playing. I think we're playing good football. We're solid defensively. We just need a couple of more signings, and I can see us do well going forward as well. So no, I'd love to keep him. But I just don't. I think there's not enough talent anyways. So regardless of who you put in charge at the moment, we need to develop the youth teams a lot more.
Yeah, man.
So I don't think this is the time for Allegri. I think we need to develop that side of football anymore, and then you can get one of the big coaches to come and manage the players. But it's a shame. It's a
It's a
shame.
shame.
Another year, and without the Azzurri,
Ghana also sack their whole talking about the World Cup. Ghana sack Ottawado 2 months before the start of the World Cup. I've seen 50-50. I've seen some people say, look, every single game since qualification, we haven't won. I think we played Korea, we played Japan, we played Austria, we played Germany. Every single game. So people are saying, why should we take this kind of form into the World Cup? Other people are in the camp that say, why on earth would you get rid of the manager when there are no more opportunities to play?
it doesn't make sense. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense to sack him. Yes, our form has been poor. But you bring a new coach, he's gonna have a week, maybe two, before they go to the USA, and then he's straight into the games, bro. Like he's not gonna have time to get to know the players. And I mean, it's one of them, right? I can hear both sides. Also, I just think it's a shambles, anyways. Really, I don't think there's way out of. where we are at the moment. But I would have just kept him because he knows the players, and you never know, bro. The players might get there, and everything changes. The atmosphere, the fans, it's completely different. Friendlies, yeah, of course you want to win them, but I think the important thing is sort of getting a style of play, knowing what you want to do as a team. And yeah, we haven't done that. We have a lot of injuries as well. We must say the Germany game we just about lost. It was a decent game. The games before that, I agree, we haven't been good enough. But I wouldn't have sacked him just because of how close it is to the World Cup. If you're gonna sack him before that, in my opinion.
I
But
think, yeah, I'm in the same camp. I think it makes absolutely no sense, especially because they are friendlies and people that are saying, "Oh, yeah, we're losing games, and why take his form into the World Cup?" Also World Cup's about experimenting. He's always changing formations
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. We've got injuries. However, I'm seeing a crazy rumor, which is probably not true, but they're
Joachim
saying
Low,
Yashim Low might be.
Mister.
Yes. I mean, if Yashim Low ends up taking over the Black Stars for the World Cup, I would personally be delighted.
Yeah, I'll be
Uh,
happy, bro. But you still haven't given him enough time to work the players, right? Like, I'll be happy if you give me Guardiola, bro. But ultimately, it's that time thing that worries me, right? You can bring anyone you want, but if he doesn't have time to work with the players, I just don't see it working. Obviously, great appointment if they get him. I also saw that it would be just for the World Cup,
yeah,
literally a short contract.
so that.
So then, I don't know, is it just having someone that has won it before and, in our bench that is getting us excited? Because really, he won't really get any time to work with the players before or after because he's going to just leave after.
It's true.
So yeah, obviously exciting because he's a good manager, but I don't know. Yeah, another footballing government that is just shambles.
So, what are your personal expectations? We've got Panama, England, Croatia in the group. What are your
I hope
expectations?
we make it out of the group. I think we can beat Panama.
We
I
have
mean,
to. We
I
have
say
to.
that. I say that, but
We
then
have
our
to.
results don't really. I think we can draw against England and we can get a result against Croatia. I don't think England are as good in terms of, they're obviously good, not in good form, similar to us. The best players are not performing well at the moment. So this is a good time to play them, I think. But
Man,
then having said that, we are also not in good form. So anything can happen in that game. Unfortunately, they have Harry Kane up top that can score out of thin hair. And we don't have that. Obviously, we got Semenyo, we got, the new, but it's not easy, man.
it's not easy, man. I mean, England's form is pretty bad. If I'd like to say if Japan can draw against England, so can we.
Yeah.
But
But
obviously, they
Japan
didn't have
are
their best
better than us.
players. Yes, and England didn't have their best players as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bad game for them. But if we can play them in that sort of form, then anything can happen, right? So it's a
Absolutely.
one-off game, If we have to defend for our lives and try and get a draw, we have to do that. We
Quick,
hope we do.
quick game I want to play with you. At Milan, I think we have a bit of a striker crisis. So I'm just going to give you some names. I want you to tell me stay or leave.
Yeah.
Christopher Nkunku,
Leave.
Nicholas Fulkrug,
Leave, man. I don't really understand. I didn't understand that sign. Not so much on him, but yeah, leave, bro.
Santiago Jimenez,
I'll stay. I like him, bro. I think I have to give him more time. Obviously, got injured. It was a shame because he was so coming into form. And I do like him, even if he's a number two. You have to keep one. So stay.
Rafael Leao,
I stay. I mean, his season has been interesting. So I don't know, but it's Leao, so stay,
Christian Pulisic,
stay,
Francesco Camarda.
stay.
I think we should give Camarda opportunity next year, man. Speaking of all the stuff I was talking about Italian footballers and talent, when he came on a couple times when he was 16, like he showed a lot of grinta. He's played for
Yeah,
Lecce. I know he's
yeah,
currently injured, but I think we should give Camarda opportunity. I also think Allegri should change formation. To be fair, man,
yeah. Same. I mean, the season is basically done, so let him.
next year.
Let him.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see that. Okay, lastly, let's quickly check in on English football. I guess the breaking news is that Arsenal, they've gone from quadruple talk to within a couple of weeks lose to Man City in the final, and we did say that will affect their mental. And for them
Yeah.
to lose to Southampton, what are your thoughts, man?
I think they'll get a result against Sporting. I think yeah. I mean, it was a shame for them not to go through the FA Cup because I think a cup is a cup, and you want to go as far as you can. They're in a good position in the league, but if they draw or lose to Bournemouth and then lose to City, it's open. I don't think it's as bad as the fans make it seem. They're like killing themselves. Like you're top of the league, bro. 9 points ahead. Chillax, bro. Like really and truly, you are never gonna win the quadruple. Let's be honest. You haven't won a league in however many years. Just take what you can. I don't think they'll win the Champions League. I don't think they're good enough to. I think all of the other teams are not good enough to catch up to them this year.
in the league.
So I think they'll win the league, but not because they're the best team, but because everyone else is just not good enough.
And to be fair, the record books won't know that. They'll just say
Exactly. So it doesn't matter.
it's normal.
At the end of the day, it's the league. But if they lose the league this year, I don't see them winning for the next however many
The thing
years.
with Arsenal right now is that they mentally, I feel like the defeats are affecting them, man.
Yeah,
Especially because for them, especially that Carabao Cup final was huge. It was a much
yeah,
bigger game for them than it was for City, and for
yeah,
them to get scored like that, and then for them the next game to lose to Southampton, who are currently in the Championship,
yeah.
it's not looking great, and they need to bounce back. I still
Yeah.
believe they will win the league, and they are poised
Agreed.
to do that. If they
Agreed.
don't do that, it is catastrophic, and
It is.
Arteta has to go.
Yes, it is. I agree. I agree. That's literally all I have to say about Arsenal. Like it's still in their hands. Because it's Arsenal, they could win it and they could lose it, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Facts.
But I think they're in a good position to win it. So let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I agree. I agree. So let's talk about some favorites. World Cup. Tell me who you think are your two favorites.
France and Portugal are my favourites for this World Cup. How about you?
I would say France and I'll say Brazil,
Yeah.
just because of Ancelotti
Ancelotti.
and his man management,
Yeah.
and and I always think the South American teams
Yeah.
they always
Argentina
do that.
still get a shot, Messi's still there. Although we're still waiting to see whether he's gonna go or not.
Yeah,
But I would love for Cristiano Ronaldo to win it. So that was like a selfish
yeah,
Portugal reason.
that would be great.
Um, we got AC Milan and Napoli tonight. Let me know your thoughts and scores.
AC Milan Napoli tonight. We're playing at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. I think it will be a really difficult game. Napoli have pretty much caught us in the league because of so many draws. Inter absolutely smoked Roma.
But two,
That was crazy. Chalanoglu, like,
what a
guy,
goal!
man,
What a
that
goal!
guy,
What a goal!
man. You hate him, but
What a goal!
he's class. He's class.
What a goal!
So to focus on today's game, yeah, I see a draw. To be
Yeah,
perfectly honest, I see a Conte versus Allegri is always cagey. So
yeah,
I see a 1-1 or even a 0-0. I'm hoping we get the win, but Inter's gonna run away with the league at this point. I just want to secure Champions League.
yeah. I think 1-0 AC Milan.
That'd be great.
I'm feeling confidence. I feel like Napoli, yes, last game they did well. McTominay back from injury, but I can see us winning. Let's see. We'll speak shortly after the game,
We'll speak
and
after the
then
game.
we'll go from there.
Yeah, man. Say no more. All right. Well,
All right.
great catching up, bro. And
Yeah.
we'll speak after the Milan game.
Speak after the Milan game, bro.